You just won't do it. You just won't do it, will you? You just won't watch this show. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep making this show and make you like it. That's right, I have no problem with this show being the Roman Reigns of this channel. But if you're watching this, then I guess that means you're one of the people who do watch the show, and I really shouldn't be yelling at you. And if you're not watching the show, yelling at you on this show really doesn't make a whole lot of... You know what? My bad. Anyway, welcome back to Cheaper Pop Culture, the show that has both a lapel mic and a regular desk mic. Because we're fancy like that. And today, we're talking about heel turns in movies. As I'm sure you know by now, it's Heels Month here on Dave Knows Wrestling, where all month long we're covering the bad guys. So in this episode, I'm taking a look at how pop culture not only screws up wrestling, but also how they screw up particular aspects of wrestling, such as the heel turn. Now, this is not as easy a topic as it would seem. It turns out heel turns in movies are actually not as common as you think. The thing is, in wrestling, wrestlers are not incorruptibly good, and they are also not unwaveringly bad. There's a fluid of consciousness out there as a wrestler can turn on a dime and go from one extreme to the next like a teenager during prom week. Movie characters are usually a very distinct shade of whatever they were born as. In movies, a big reveal is usually something like, oh no, they were bad the whole time as it turns out, and not something like, oh, you turned bad because the Macho Man didn't invite you to his bachelor party. Wait, am I remembering that right? Anyway, moving on, here are some examples of true heel turns that happened in movies. Alright, look, it can't be a real nerdy internet show unless we bring up the Star Wars prequel and complain about it, right? I mean, you just have to, so we might as well just get this out the way. Turns out, Anakin Skywalker's turn is exactly what everyone wants Roman Reigns to be. Here you got Hayden Christensen, an actor that everybody frickin' hates, and he turns bad. The only downside is when he turns into Vader, everyone just got even more mad. So, if you think about it, maybe we really don't want Roman Reigns to turn heel. First, we see the Raptors, and they're all cool with Star-Lord, at least until they get their necks up because of the new Alpha Mega Supersaurus Rex or whatever that thing was. And then all of a sudden, heel turn. Okay, so let me get this straight. We have a dominant heel pack with a clear-cut leader, and then all of a sudden a new leader comes up and they switch alpha males and turn on the original, only to eventually turn on their new leader as well. Is it my imagination? Or did I just describe the Nation of Domination? That's right, The Rock is the Redonkulous Rex, and D'Lo, Godfather, and Mark Henry are all the Raptors, and in this situation, Farouk would be the Guardian of the Galaxy. And Jurassic World is not done with turns yet, because my boy Blue would start putting up big show numbers by turning yet again before the end of the movie. Alright, right in the beginning of the movie, Farmer Joe decides to turn on his neighbors for that guy that looks like the dad in Drop Dead Fred. Because I saw Drop Dead Fred before I saw Sleepers, that's why. And because I didn't realize they were the same guy until just now, but yeah. Anyway, selling out your best friends in the name of your family? That sounds like Kevin Owens logic, doesn't it? Mission: Impossible saw main character Jim Phelps turn into Jon Voight and then turn into a major heel, all in the big screen feature. So a long-standing hero turning heel for no damn good reason? I'm getting Sting flashbacks. Al Pacino was a good soldier. He was with Diane Keaton, and then all of a sudden, the evil mob faction decided they wanted to get a piece of Jarrell, and then he had to get revenge on them for trying to take out Jarrell. And then Council Canary, Robert Duvall, told him that he had to go to Italy, get married to a girl who's gonna blow up in a car, and then he had to come back to America because James Caan got ventilated at a phone booth, and Adrian got beat up. Now, this heel turn was a slow build, and it happened out of necessity and loyalty to your family. Yep, that's right. Straight up Bret Hart. Yeah, I think Mario Puzo somehow went all the way back in time, ripped off Bret Hart, and turned it into a novel form. Think about that. It's possible. Just think about it. And it's not just movies that do this. Real sports, legitimate sports, actually have real-life athletes that are beloved by everyone, and all of a sudden you find out they've gone heel, such as... Woo, I'm not touching that one. So there you go. It turns out that heel turns in movies can be just as fun as heel turns in wrestling. But unfortunately, that also means they could be just as too. Anyway, join us next time when this show turns heel by trashing your local sports team and telling you that they have no chance of winning the local championship.